Hello and welcome to the Thread to Mend podcast. My name is Taylor and I come to you from Baltimore, Maryland, and this is a podcast about all things that are fiber related. I mostly touch on the subjects of knitting and spinning, and in this episode I have not spun an inch since I've last recorded, so there's nothing there this week, but I have been knitting quite a lot. I finished my Jenny at the Fair cardigan, which I'm really excited to show you. I'm wearing it now, obviously, but this was knit with Let Lopi yarn, which is my favorite of the Icelandic yarns that I've knit with, although it is honestly probably the only Icelandic yarn I've knit with. I've made a few sweaters in this yarn. But I will stand up on my chair really quick to show you the hem. So it hangs down a little bit in the front, which I really like. It's probably because of the weight of the pockets and just that the bum kind of lifts the back a little bit. I really love the pattern, the colorwork pattern to this sweater. And I think it came out really well. I'm really happy with it. I did reinforce some of the buttonholes, and I learned since wearing this garment this morning that I need to reinforce those a little bit more because some of the buttonholes I still can't find, which is why I began reinforcing them so that they're easy to feel and know exactly where the button should insert so that they line up well. A few modifications I made to this sweater they're not real significant ones, but this sweater is knit from the bottom up, both in the body and the sleeves, and then you join in the round and decrease to bind off and steek, and then pick up and knit the button band. Simple, right? It actually is quite simple because I find it to be a really nice, well-written pattern. But one thing I noticed I had a little bit of trouble with was, one, I wanted to make sure that my Piri pattern wasn't cut off into the button band like in the image. I wanted the whole little diamond to show. So I made sure to have enough stitches to do that. And I don't know if it was that or something else, but when I came to join the arm and the body, I decided I wanted to just do one Piri pattern repeat to bring the whole garment together. And then after that, I would stop just because I knew I was off by like 1 or 2 stitches. And if I continue to repeat the pattern, only then it would be obvious. So I just decided to stop the color work, which I was really happy to do, honestly, at that point, because I wanted to finish this garment. I was knitting to finish it. So I did exactly that. And I really love the way it wears. One other slight modification I made was accidental. I was following the instructions for all sizes when I decreased every X number of rounds, and then I realized halfway through that with the size I was making, extra small, I should have been decreasing 1.5 times, like just a little less frequently. So I started doing that, and I feel like I'm glad I did. If it's perfect, I have no complaints whatsoever. This garment, I really like it a lot. I don't know if I've pointed out already, but it has pockets, which is really great. At first I thought the pockets were a little small, but I feel like they're a really good size. They fit like your hand great. I think they could be a little deeper, maybe a little longer, a little deeper, to fit the whole like wrist. But honestly, I have no complaints. I think that it's actually a good size pocket. I got these buttons from the same website I bought the yarn last fall. I think it was a Black Friday buy. So I'll link to that as well, and I'll include the colors I used in my Ravelry project page. This is the first time I'm wearing this, so I can't tell you how it wears yet, but I've knit a few sweaters in Let Lopi, and I feel like it's one of the best hard-wearing yarns. Really nice. I'm really excited to have this. Yeah, that's my Jenny at the Fair. Maybe I'll get a faraway shot to insert before this video is over. So that's that. It is the top of my Tuesday now. Right now it is December 31st, and I'm going into work soon, so I feel a little rushed, but I wanted to record a quick episode for you all. I'm wondering how you're doing. How is 2019 feeling? Are you ready for 2020? I feel so ready. I don't know why it matters so much to me right now, but I feel like I just want to close the chapter on this year. I just want it to be 2020 already. I don't know. I just don't feel good. Like, I don't like so many things that are happening in this world, and it's just dragging me down. So I'm trying to stay positive and spend my time as much as I can doing the things that I enjoy, which is knitting and spinning and other things. I feel like I do a lot of chores, but you know, you can find joy in any type of work, I think. So I have kind of like set aside in my basket all the things that I'm planning to cast on pretty much tomorrow. I think that with the day off, I might just cast on everything to have more new projects in the works. Right now, the only thing that's really I quantify as on my needles as, or I feel like qualifies as being on my needles is the Daydreamer sweater, which I've been making very slow progress on. And I don't know, I just feel like I could let this drag out forever. I guess because it's so slow growing, I can't make it my monogamous knit because it's just still going to take too long. And I feel like it's not every day that I have the mojo to start new stuff. So I'm going to take advantage of that mojo and tomorrow cast on as many things as I possibly can, if not just because I can. So it could be that as soon as everything else is cast on, I only want to knit this till it's done. And I'll probably choose one project to monogamously work on, even though I've started the others. I used to be competitive with myself in how little time it took from start to finish to make something. But I don't know, I feel like that matters a lot less to me now. More than anything, I want to kind of wrap up what I can before 2020 so that I have more of a clean slate. So I pulled out a couple projects I had kind of stashed around my room to remind myself that they are works in progress. They're not in total hibernation, or maybe they should come out. So one of them is this pair of socks that I've mostly knit like years ago, I want to say. But this is a really nice BFL yarn. It's from Utopia, and I love this base. It's really feels like it'd be a really nice hard wearing sock. This was the first time I was doing a heel flap and gusset, and I did the flap and I just was ready to do the next step and never got around to it. So I think I might work on this tonight and see how much I can get done before next year, and then I'll have a project done in either one more in 2019 or a good start to the new year, which I will count because I don't know, who cares? I don't remember if I showed this to you on my podcast, so I'm going to repeat myself if you don't mind. I finished a few weeks ago knitting the thumb to this mitten that I made a while ago. And the only modification I made was I made this little thumb owl's eyes a little bit bigger because it just looked kind of mad. So it looks a little less mad. But this is Harrisville Designs flywheel yarn. Beautiful. Love this mitt. And the same day that I did the thumb, I cast on the second mitt. So that is another project I could be focusing my attention before tomorrow when I decide I'm going to cast everything on. And yeah, I'd love to get that done in 2020. I have just one other sock project, but I let that sit in hibernation. It's my travel project. So that's one I can kind of really just pick up and put down at any point because it has the afterthought heel. I think I like to knit the afterthought heel just for the ease of knowing I can put in a little bit of waste yarn and keep flying away into that tube of stockinette, which is pretty much what landed me here with this unfinished object, was just not being ready to do something new, whether it's a technique or whatever, or, DPNs are not my best friends. We don't get along that well. We don't have a close relationship, me and double pointed needles. So the heel flapping gusset thing, I really want to try because I want to know how it feels and fits and wears, but I don't know if I really like the process of it. So that's something I could be doing, but I'm instead recording this podcast for the 4th time this morning. So I feel like I just can't handle interruptions. Like I don't know now where to begin again. So I just start from the beginning. I showed you my cardigan, right? I think we made it that far into this recording. One other project I have sort of just not really in hibernation, but just always around is a super wash DK weight yarn on a pair of circular needles. And I pretty much always have something like this cast on to knit in case of an emergency in the background. And just slowly but surely I'm making more knit bras to wear. Changing the design a little bit each time. This one I have a, what is this? This is a cable cast on with a little bit of garter and stockinette. So I don't know, we'll see how this band goes. I was looking for something that's just not ribbing because I don't really want ribbing in this one. But I'm enjoying that. Just simple little background noise to the knitting world I live in. I feel like I just escape my reality through my craft. It's just a nice place to be. How are you doing though? Are you doing well? I feel like this holiday season is a bit of a slog for me. I struggle a little bit with it. Just my parents are aging and they live quite far away and I don't have the bandwidth to visit and spend time there. And they're aging and not healthy and it's just not great. Things are not great, but they're good enough. I'm just trying to stay okay with it all. So I'll probably end this video here. I don't know, I kind of just brought us down really hard, but that's just honestly how I feel right now. So I hope that's enough for you. And if you like to subscribe to my channel, you'll get more videos not unlike this in the new year. So go ahead and subscribe if not already. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up so that it gives other people a chance to find it. And I want to thank you so much for watching. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram. Please do. My name on those platforms is Taylor E. Owen. And I'd love to connect in that way. I don't know. I hope that you have the chance to enjoy the new year and have a great day. And just take care.